Now they can. Hi. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hi, my name is Dry Archuleta, joined by Robbie
Hi.
on my left here.
And then in the center, kind of.
It's right behind. I'm going to have to move
Like right
E.
behind you.
Yeah, I'm going to have to move E to more of my left.
Yeah, hello.
Right there.
Yeah, right next to Luna. You can get E and I can get Luna.
And then I'm going to put this back here.
Hey, put my headphones back on.
Oh, shit, you're right. Sorry. E has to be able to hear, too.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Hi, everybody. We are in such a nest that if there happens to be a fire or just one of us has to use the bathroom, it's going to take 45 minutes to get out of this room.
Especially for poor E.
Yeah, I could probably jump over this table easier than you guys can stand.
E's dead. If there's a fire, E's dead.
I'm knocking this table over if there's a fire. It'll be harder for you guys.
E, on your thing, on 2, just turn you up a little bit,
All right.
I think. Well, unless Robbie and you... Oh, yeah, no, that doesn't matter, actually. Yeah, so hopefully we're...
I think that matters less on Twitch than it did on Podbean.
Yeah. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Again. This is post-credits, I guess, right?
Yep.
Yes. The
Yeah.
new Twitch post credits.
Man. We watched things this week. I
Yeah.
watched a couple of things, I guess.
We watched something today.
Yeah.
We watched, yes, we should get right into that, actually. The night of, episode 7. A lot happened, actually, in this one. Quite a bit happened.
Which you guys complained that not enough happened in the last episode, and then a lot happened in this episode, and a lot of it is rather important.
Correct, yes.
Especially when it comes to like character building and like the overall story and like the arc that is happening with this episode and just the series in whole.
Yeah, So a lot happened in this one that I'm kind of wondering. I don't think Nazir's gonna get out of this.
It kind of seems that way, doesn't it?
It does.
I don't think he's gonna make it.
And well, it does a really good job of that, and it does a really good job of like showing how he's like maybe he wasn't a criminal before, but he definitely is now, even if he wasn't before.
100% he's a criminal now. Like, to the point of it actually kind of being ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of. So like with this episode, goes more into, in this episode of the night of, it goes more into the case. There's a lot more court drama of this because you guys even complained last episode, like there actually finally is court drama in this one, and it's kind of boring because
It's realistic court drama.
Yeah, realistic court is kind of boring. Like whenever it does the court scenes, there's no music, there is nothing like, I don't say like no music, like no after shots or anything like that, like nothing super spectacular. It's just in a court. Like in a concrete box where people are talking to each other about, what this court case is and like how things are going.
And for like it being such a high level, or maybe mid-level, I should say, court case, nobody in the room watching. No, like there's like 2 reporters and then like family, and that's like it. Which like I guess realistic, honestly.
Yeah.
But
especially with like a high profile case like this, they don't exactly want media attention with everything that's going on. They just want to, like they even said earlier on in the series, like get it off my desk, push us through fast. Like I don't want to have to hear about this anymore.
Yeah. And I say mid to high tier, but like looking at everything that's happening, I might even say low tier actually, court case.
I mean, it's very big to the people that are happening around it, but like even in this episode, it gets brushed by so quickly that I don't even think you guys noticed it. Is they found a similar killing to what happened to the main victim in this.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, like no reporters, no one seems to really care, but this black woman died the same exact way that white woman died, and it seems like nobody cares, and it's not going to be nearly as high profile as Nazir's case.
Yeah, that's kind of the opening of this episode, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I would say, like, go ahead, E.
I was gonna say hello to King Oryx. Welcome back.
Oh,
Hello.
hi. Hey, E.
Hi.
What if for, like, right now, you just, like, put that, like, on the other one? Like, put that
Yeah,
screen,
sure.
but, like, on that screen.
So we can see the chat.
Yeah.
Why don't you do like another wave while I do this? Hang on.
We're waving.
Yeah.
We're waving. We're waving.
Also, we're not like super zoomed in. You can actually see what we look like now as people.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Um,
You can definitely see where my hairline is like starting to go back. And my arm is going into dry as space.
What if I do this?
They're spinning now.
Hey,
make sure I stay in shot.
I was gonna say, look like little spinny hamsters
No,
almost.
you have to stay in shot. Whenever you build the shot for when we're playing Half-Life, you have to ensure that you're in the shot as well.
Yeah, like a spare controller you can give me while I'm playing Half-Life.
A spare controller?
Like to put over there.
Oh, yeah, to put with.
Oh,
I'm just curious, just as a joke, but
yes,
anyways.
but they're all on the other side of this maze.
Oh,
okay.
boy.
Well, it's not that far. I was just curious, but
Good point though.
yeah,
I mean, I'd be the one to get it if that's the case.
maybe.
It's not happening.
Okay.
It's not worth it.
Hey, Sam.
Hey, Sam.
But yeah, Night of, it does finally feel like stuff's going
Yeah,
Yeah.
it finally feels like the show is happening.
right as it's about to end, but
Yeah.
And that's kind of what it is. It's all been building up to this moment.
Yeah, it has, honestly. I would say, like, the big parts of it is showing Nazir's just full criminal now.
Yeah.
There's no
Mhm.
ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's just is that.
And well, it's because he kind of got embedded into that lifestyle whenever he went to prison.
Yeah.
Like, he very much was just like, don't talk to people, don't look at anybody, just try to live through all this to, like, now he's part of, like, a criminal organization. He's funneling drugs in and out of the prison system. At the end of the episode, he helps with a murder.
Yeah. That's probably the part that, I mean, it's supposed to bother you, right? That's
Right.
kind of the point of
Yeah.
it. This part is supposed to really fucking bother you.
I mean, nothing about it is good, though. Like, it's one of those, it was a completely avoidable situation, but because of how everything played out between the fact that Nazir didn't say anything because everyone was scared of this guy, to, like, if he would have said something earlier, this could have been prevented. This person could have, like, lived out their sentence without having to worry about being raped every single day. Like, it was a whole big thing.
Yeah. It's bothersome. And, like, that, I think that's maybe the part it's supposed to bother you and everything like that, because, like, it's very real. This happens every day.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Like, even the people that I knew that actually did go to prison said, like, shit like this happened all the time when it came to, like, revenge killings or, like, just getting,
Yeah.
like, revenge beat-ups or, somebody had to be taught a lesson somewhere or just, like, someone need to be shown, like, who's boss or whatever else in prison system, because it's very much like a hierarchy whenever you go in there. And, like, it's just
Yeah.
stuff that happens every day. And it's just, like, especially when you have prisoners who, like, all day, every day know what the guards are doing, but, like, the guards only have 8 hours a day to try to figure out the criminals when the criminals, like, just don't talk to them. It's very
Yeah.
much like, authority not really paying attention to the mice that they're guarding.
Yeah. E, could
Hello.
you make sure that Robbie is also not set for auto white balance?
I am very
should not
white,
have
so
been,
that
but-
might just be what I look like.
Sorry, everybody. I might just be very white.
That is possible.
Sam is saying lighting looks really good tonight. We got more lights.
Yeah, we got more lights. The cameras are closer towards us, so you can see the lights better on our faces, for better or worse.
Yeah. Hey, there you go. Look at that.
There we
Oh,
go.
I'm darker
Apply.
now.
You didn't apply it. You didn't
Yeah,
apply
I
it.
I
You
look
did.
more of a peach color now.
Look.
Other thing.
Yeah.
Well, I'm an asshole. Anyway.
yeah. Robbie's a much more healthy pink.
Yeah, you're way pinker
I'm
now.
less ghosty now.
You're like a Pinkerton. You're like an assassin. No, not an assassin. Bounty hunter.
Lighting.
You're like a bounty hunter in the westerns now. You're Pinkerton.
Sure.
lighting so good we can't even see you. I hope you guys can see.
Yeah, I hope that you can see. I hope it's not a black screen and just some fucking audio.
That'd be really
Yeah.
funny if it was nothing and Sam's still like, "Hey, good lighting, you guys."
Yeah, great lighting.
Yeah,
I
that's
love
why she's
everything
saying
I
it's
can
great
see.
lighting is because they cannot see shit right now.
Oh man.
But yeah, Naz's mother is losing a lot of faith in Naz, and the father, their company is getting a new taxi that the father has to pay for.
But cannot use.
Yeah.
Well, it's not even that he's paying for it. What it is because, like, the three of them had that taxi together, and they're like, hey, we're going to get a new taxi, but we don't want you to be part of it. So for your end of the licensing, we'll pay you $75,000. And he's like, well, no, because it's worth more than that.
Yeah, he said it's like worth 220.
He said the car itself is worth $250,000.
250,000.
Yeah. And
How is that possible?
New York.
yeah, well, for one, New York, two, the taxi license, split 3 ways, and, like, I don't know. Apparently, it's just very expensive to invest in.
Huh. I mean, yeah, I could see getting a taxi license being hard since you like have a bunch of strangers going in your car in and out
Right.
constantly.
And like, yeah, you have to have a specialized license for that. And
Insurance probably is.
yeah,
a lot
insurance
more
is probably a big thing of
expensive.
that.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Getting like the other things that people don't think about with taxis, like the divider and then like the actual license viewing and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure like taxis are specialized.
getting the light that halfway works.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work getting a taxi.
Painting
Yeah.
it yellow. Oh.
Yeah, apparently, yeah, that car was worth $250,000, and they're paying him $75,000 for his cut, and so they're underselling him for it because it should be closer to like $80,000 or $90,000, and like, yeah, well, we're not going to give you the full money because it's your son's fault that this is happening.
Yeah.
There's that, and then like there is like that very pivotal scene with the mother where she can't like she walks out of the courtroom because she like looks at the crime scene and says a monster did that, and then asks
An animal.
an animal did that.
Yeah.
It's like, did I raise an animal?
And like, it's actually a really good scene because the lawyer tries to go up and like hug her and comfort her, and she like pushes her away.
Yeah.
And I don't know. This episode is kind of.
It's almost like we had a slow episode so we can have this episode be as good as it is.
Yeah, honestly, like I would say, and this isn't like a knock on the show or anything, but like the best episode so far has been 1, 2, and 7.
It's kind of it, yeah, like because they had to set up what was going to happen, and then everything else is just kind of like slowly setting up the court case, and then the court case happening. Like it was the night of, and then building up to the court case and the court case. Like this is very much an 8-episode show with a 3-act structure throughout the entire show.
Same ass. Is the guy's skin still dry? No, but he's having allergic reactions to the cat.
Yeah, the cat has actually learned how to open up its apartment door because it has its own room in the apartment, and just go cuddle at night, which is such a fucking cat thing to do.
Yeah.
I think he just failed to close the door properly.
It probably was that because like there was that scene whenever like he got in all his gear and he was like petting it with the
gloves.
Yeah, with
the fucking rubber like kitchen cleaning gloves.
Yeah, exactly. Those heavy duty rubber gloves, and he's like scratching the cat, and then goes to close the door and just doesn't close it correctly, so the cat opens it.
Yeah, because like the door's not like you can see the gap.
Yeah,
at that point.
It's a New York apartment. It's not like a great door.
Yeah, the cat escapes and he's about to die from fucking
an asthma attack.
Yeah.
But yeah, like then he goes back to that Asian doctor and he's like, "Hey, like you got me something for my foot stuff. Do you think you can get something for my asthma, like some fish oil or some other things? Get rid of your cat." "Well, don't you have something you can give me for my asthma, something that might be able to help with my attacks and get rid of your cat?" "I don't want to get rid of my cat."
And then the doctor just shrugs.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know what to fucking tell you, dude.
Yeah,
I loved it.
He's fun.
Yeah. That Chinese doctor has to be the most straightforward character in this entire show.
Absolutely.
The only one I'm 100% sure isn't lying ever.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
But other things we learn, Nas was withholding the truth again. He actually sent 2 kids to the hospital in high school.
Yeah. One that he pushed down the stairs, and then the other one that he threw a full Coke can at him and hit a kid in the face and apparently cut him open right above his eyelid.
Yeah. There's something weird about like just saying like a full Coke can to me. Like I feel like no one's. I mean, court obviously you have to be as clear as possible. Like,
yeah, because if like you said he threw a Coke can at him and he got a cut, you'd be like, "Well, that kid's a bitch." But like a full Coke can is. If you threw that, that'd be heavy as hell.
Yeah.
Like, that would hurt like shit, right?
Yeah, because there are 12 ounces of liquid in that can compared to, like, a can that weighs almost nothing.
Yeah, like, it's not...
But, like...
It would be uncomfortable to be hit with a Coke can.
But I think...
It's like a small brick.
Yeah, exactly. But I was going to say, I think the thing about it is, like, when it's a full Coke can, if it breaks, then you have sharp aluminum being, cut into your face at full force that it was thrown.
Yeah. It's not good. Have you guys seen those videos? We're talking about Coke cans in like a very serious show, but have you seen those videos where people just open the Coke can like from the seal, like not like the part?
I've seen one of those. Like I don't know how someone's that strong.
Like
pushing. Let me grab a can. I'll show you.
Like Robbie has a can.
Yeah, I technically have a can right here.
Robbie has a can. This part. Let me have your can. Give me your can. Like this part here. Like they just rip it like. I feel like you rip your nails off first.
Yeah, I've actually tried that because I have a pretty decent grip strength, but like I'm not strong enough to get that.
I like
Don't
how
do
you
it
say
now.
You tried that. Like you saw that and you're like, oh, I better try.
Yeah, I could do that.
Like, well, not even I can do that. Like, is that a thing? Like, it was what I was thinking. So I was like, just kind of grabbed it. And, like, I kind of pulled on it, and I was like, I pulled on it to a point where I was like, yeah, my fingernails are gonna come off if I pull any harder.
That was a very interesting emote. King Works.
Is that creepy baby spider?
I don't know.
An octopi?
I actually can't tell from here.
It's like a buff head.
We both pull out our phones trying to figure out.
Yeah, I gotta
What
figure
is
this
this
out
emote?
now.
A buff egg. Yep. All right.
Oh yeah, that egg's strong as shit.
They eat their calcium. Sam says. But yeah, it is like interesting how completely different the pacing has become now, which is
Yeah.
neat.
I mean, from what you guys have been talking about, it's a welcome change, though.
Yeah, like I get why the other episodes were so slow, but like I think Jiraiya said a lot. Like they need to start doing some stuff.
Yeah, they have to do something at this point.
And they to be fair, they are doing something at
Yeah.
this point.
Yeah, they are.
It's like an interesting thing because like the first episode gave me a weird expectation, and the rest of the episode had been way more grounded than I was expecting.
Yeah, it has been, but I don't know if that's a bad thing. It's just not what I expected.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be more. I basically thought where we're at now is gonna be like episode 3.
Actually, yes. I also thought that. But if I were to guess, and Robbie, don't tell me whether I'm right or wrong, because obviously you've seen the show.
Right.
If I were to guess about what happens in this show, is that 20 minutes into the next episode, he's either found guilty or not guilty, and we get 20 minutes showing the repercussions of that, and then just maybe showing that this kind of still just happens every single day.
I think that, but also a UFO's gonna come by and abduct
Pick-
Nas.
Pick him up Silent Hill style.
Yeah.
That might be great.
The detective is finally retiring, but not before he's brought back into court to be told, "Hey, you sure took the inhaler, didn't you?"
Yeah.
The-
Okay, so
yeah.
the show that we were talking about is 2016's The Night Of, which was an
Yes.
HBO show. Like it aired on HBO. It was very much like a limited series, I guess you can say. Like it was 8 episodes from beginning to end. This is the story they want to tell. So like they don't want to make a full like couple seasons show of it, but they don't want to make a movie of it, kind of thing.
Hey, E, could you just throw some text between our heads there saying that we're talking about the night of?
Yeah,
like,
sure. hang on.
Discussion, the night of.
Which yeah, I guess we should say we're on episode 7 of 8 of this of the show. And like we were talking about it beforehand before we started going on to Twitch. We're kind of continuing the conversation we had on Podbean whenever we were doing just podcast stuff to now Twitch. But like the bad part is like I think we started on like episode 5 with the Twitch live stream.
What, 6, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe 6, yeah.
We've only talked about this on Twitch twice. If you want to get our thoughts and opinions on that, go learn how podcasts work. I couldn't tell you which post-credits episode they're on because our schedule's sort of awful and we're bad at this.
Yeah.
So,
And to be fair, it's also like sometimes like, hey, we got to start the live cast. We don't have time to watch a full hour-long episode of the show.
yeah, like tonight was like, we have just enough time to watch 1 hour-long episode of the show, and then we're like, okay, we got to go set up the stream. And I was like, oh, right, I haven't set up anything in the stream. We have a bunch of lights to put up, and
Yeah.
like a whole projector, and like a whole thing. And so our show, if you're aware of it, it was about 25 minutes late tonight. So that's my bad.
It happens. All right, there we go. Topic, the night of.
Yeah,
I
and
love
then-
this.
Fancy.
And then, yeah, Sam was saying, did you make sure to update the description this time?
yes.
Well, E's in charge, so yeah, it probably happened.
Yeah, because
Like-
last time, whenever I did see you guys on Wednesday, it was saying E plays Half-Life, and it was definitely Jiraiya playing.
I
Yeah.
noticed that as soon as we were closing the stream.
Whoops.
Yeah, so we did get like a large number of people come in, and then probably 25 minutes in, they all left. And I was like, well, they just don't want to see Firewatch. It turns out they were probably just angry because they wanted to watch Half-Life,
Right.
and it wasn't Half-Life. So,
Whoops.
Yeah, Sam's also asking, did we get the Doge ending in the night of after this?
fingers crossed.
I mean, to be fair, they didn't find the key in the doghouse, so maybe not.
Oh, wait. What if the cat orchestrated the whole thing?
What? The cat has some sort of weird Greek mythology thing with this, right? Right?
Yeah, kind of. Like,
Okay.
what's happening with
Yeah.
Nas is kind of what's happening with the the defendants.
Yeah, okay.
Because, like, the cat gets in bed with
That makes it sound like the cat's like a crime boss.
Maybe.
God.
Cat was a crime boss in Lady Killers. Why not in this show?
That's true. Well, this is better than the Lady Killers.
Fair.
Yeah.
The only joke that I got off the Lady Killers was hippity hoppity music.
Hippity hoppity, goddammit.
But
Yeah.
the detective's retiring, but he definitely still has some doubts about this case.
absolutely has doubts about it.
Yeah.
And there's evidence put into question about how legitimate it is now into the case.
Right.
Yeah.
Because who gives the testimonies? There's some people. Some of them are kind of conflicting with one another. Again, the detective took evidence from the crime scene.
Yeah.
Which you can't do that.
Can't do that.
If you're not aware.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to do that.
Well, she did defend himself doing that in court case, but at the same time, she said, like, well, it's because if the glove doesn't fit, right? What do you mean? Like, well, the glove doesn't fit. You have to acquit that a person stabbing someone to death 22 times while taking in between puffs of an inhaler doesn't exactly fit the crime scene. So take it out of the crime scene, right?
But also, maybe when you're trying to get somebody off as being innocent, don't quote the OJ case.
Yeah.
Like, that's the perfect way to be like, oh, so he is actually guilty. Okay.
Which the funny thing is they quoted the OJ case like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
I mean, one was that apparently it was a guy with the testimony from the OJ case.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Which is a weird thing to, like, bring into a fictional story about.
A little bit. But they talk about 9/11 and stuff, too. Like,
Yeah.
That's
They-
like
they
a
do talk
more
about real world
general
events.
thing.
well, with the
than
OJ thing, it was a black man who killed a white woman. This is
A Muslim man who killed a white woman.
the Pakistan.
Pakistani. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, it makes, I'm not going to say, like, actual sense, but it makes, like, TV lawyer sense.
I guess.
I mean, whenever they're trying to show that he's a corrupt character and like, oh, this is why he did it because this is the kind of person that he is. Like, they're going to use whatever reason that they can, whether it's, he's a bad person or he was a bad student or he sold drugs on the side. 'Cause that's another thing is they found out that he was selling Adderall to his friends and trying to say like, oh, he was a bad person because he's trying to profit off you and he was supposed to be your best friend. And they're just trying to make him seem like a bad person. Like, oh, he's always been a bad person. That's why he could murder somebody.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a lot in question. He definitely took part in a murder.
Yeah.
Which
He has plausible deniability.
he technically has plausible deniability.
Yeah.
But come on.
I think with that whole scene, it's kind of showing like the way that his character is changing while he's in prison, though, too, because like he shows no remorse towards anything that happens towards there, whether it's the fact that like it was a revenge killing because someone who was basically their honeypot, like that was getting drugs into the prison for them, kills himself because he can't handle the prison system anymore.
Yeah.
And it was for because basically like one of the guys in the gang was taking him as like his prison girlfriend, if you will, and he didn't want that anymore, so he killed himself. And then after that, like the guy went and talked to Nas, and he's like, "Do you want to tell me anything about what happened?" Like dry hitting his elbow against
hit
the
my elbow.
bar.
It's fine. It's fine. Let's not mention it.
Like that, and so like they talk about it, and then like it shows him making a prison shiv out of a toothbrush and a razor. After that, and then like it kind of shows that they're orchestrating this killing, and he goes up and says like, "Hey," like goes to the guard and like, "Hey, I need a new inhaler," and like grabs a new inhaler for him and grabs like the paper to sign for it while the guy goes and slits the guy's throat while he's watching TV while no one notices.
Yeah.
And then like while everybody's panicking because there's a guy bleeding to death on the floor, Nas is still just signing the piece of paper, doesn't even take his inhaler, just walks away after he signs the paper, like nothing just happened.
Yeah. It's the whole thing of like maybe he was a good kid at one point.
Yeah.
And he was pushed too far. But then clearly when he's pushed too far, he moves.
Yeah.
He goes with the flow of it, I guess you can say. So
It brings out possibly this animal that everyone's trying to make him out to be.
yeah.
And so still in episode 7 of 8, you're still not sure whether this guy is actually guilty or innocent of this crime that he's being convicted of.
Yeah, going into episode 8, I don't know if he did it. And at this point, like, I don't know if it matters, honestly. I think this sucks. It maybe shows his character, honestly. Yeah. But, like, also, it shows that, like, the system is built in a way to push you towards.
Right.
Even if you go in not being a criminal.
By the time that if you spend long enough in there, you will eventually become a criminal.
Yeah. So, yeah. I don't know.
It's a lot.
It's a lot in this show.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm adjusting some stuff. Sam saying there was a bit of an echo.
Oh. Could it be because I talk a little bit louder than you guys do?
Well, I think you're both picking up on each other's mics.
I believe that to be true.
Yeah, that could be possible. We are a bit closer now than we were beforehand, enough so that like we can get in each other's shots.
Yeah. yeah, we're gonna at the break we'll mess around with the mics and the cameras. Actually, the camera's gonna move a little bit.
Yeah.
So we'll hopefully fix that. We'll get some better gates on there. I think we could technically do it now, but it's kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Alright,
So
any
according to
change
Sam,
from
it
that?
is probably me being too loud again. My voice just carries a bit too much. I apologize.
Now Dry is too quiet. That's fair. I did turn a bunch of stuff down.
Yeah. How about now?
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
It might honestly just be a case to where the gates aren't hitting the
Yeah.
levels they need to be hitting. So
It's too loud. Now it's too quiet. Now it's too loud again. Too much echo.
All
Not
too
enough
quiet.
echo.
Macaroni.
macaroni. Too much
With the-
macaroni.
I was gonna make with the chicken strips joke, but
What?
there's this joke like this kid just went macaroni with the chicken strips.
It's dumb.
Yeah, that sounds kind of dumb.
Most internet jokes are, but people have made some
Yeah.
pretty funny jokes off of it.
It does seem. Well, we'll probably have to just have a little bit of an echo.
For
Yeah.
right now, we'll fix it
You-
on the
yeah.
break.
We might just have to deal with it for now.
We'll work on it on the break. Yeah. So that's episode 7 of the night of.
Right.
Something that I put in this, 2 things in this that I've been watching for television shows. I've been watching. I know how language works. Okay. I'll just talk about them real quick, get them out of the way. So the after party on what's it called? Apple Plus?
Plus.
Apple TV?
Yeah.
Apple Plus TV. I don't know what it's called anymore.
The thing, the Apple streaming service.
Yeah. It ended actually quite a bit ago, and me and Liz barely caught up to watching it last week, and I just forgot to mention it last week because I want to talk about X instead, which, again, X is very good. Please go watch X.
You're hungry.
The After Party. It is extremely, extremely funny, and it does the murder mystery part very well also, which I was extremely happy about, because a lot of, like, murder comedies don't actually do the murder part well. Like, they'll do one or the other very well. Like, I think Psych, very famously, one that I absolutely love. I love Psych. It's the best week by week who did the murder thing out there, I think, because it mixes comedy so well.
Right.
It is mainly comedy, and then, like, it does okay at the murder parts. Sometimes it does great at the murder parts, but mostly it does okay. I think the After Party nailed both of them perfectly, actually. If anybody likes whodunits in any way whatsoever, or if you like Clue, actually, I would say
The movie.
the movie or the board game. Fuck it. But the movie, yes. If you like the Clue movie, this I think is the closest thing to the Clue movie that I have ever seen, honestly.
Okay.
Luna fell.
No.
I'm fine.
No.
She's making an escape.
Well, as long as he's up there. Yeah, I absolutely love the After Party. It nailed the ending and it being surprising of who did done it. That
Like
it was-
Blue's Clues?
like Blue's Clues. Yeah, they all started singing it. Well, actually, there is a song included, but it had been leaving clues throughout who it actually was in every single episode. Like, if you're actually paying very close attention to everybody's individual stories, 'cause that's how the murder is told. This is told from everyone's perspective per episode. So it's like a different, not only is it a person's different perspective, but it takes their personality into account, and so it's a whole different genre per episode.
Okay.
One is a romantic comedy, one is like an action movie, one's like a crime thing, one is a black and white French art movie, one's an animated episode, one is a musical. Like, it's fantastic.
Where's the DBZ episode? Which one?
Unfortunately, that doesn't fit in there. That's season 2. It does an incredible job of getting all of those genres together and still keeping it a whodunit and keeping it a comedy and keeping it dramatic, actually. And I think it actually nails the ending. It feels maybe a bit short and sudden, like the last 2 minutes feels kind of like a whole lot of like, and we're done. But I think it, for the most part, is really great and works really well. I would recommend it to anybody.
Okay.
If you have a trial for Apple Plus or Apple TV or whatever it's called, I think it's Apple Plus. I think that's the first thing you should watch.
Or if, heaven forbid, you have the subscriptions to Apple Plus.
or if you're paying for it for some godforsaken reason, you would be doing yourself an incredible disservice by not watching this show. I think this is probably the number one thing, in my opinion, for them. The other thing I'll get out of the way is one that I don't know if there's much to talk about with it. How I Met Your Father.
Yeah, you did say you were watching that one.
Yeah, it was only 8 episodes? Maybe 10? I think it was 10. It was 10 episodes, I think.
Okay.
It was only 10 episodes, yeah. What's your opinion on How I Met Your Mother?
It's okay. It's like you said, it's a better Friends. It's, Friends comedy where, friends live together and, like, go through wacky hijinks and blah, blah, blah. And, like, one of them is just, like, talking about how he eventually met his kid's mother.
Yeah. So what if that, but from, like, a woman's perspective?
It's what I kind of figured the show would be.
It's actually really funny.
Okay.
I think that it's done a really good job of introducing all the characters and actually making them feel like they are friends, which I think so many sitcoms fail at.
Yeah, that's fair.
And it did... Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, they don't always have that chemistry, even though it's just like, listen, we already hired you, just fucking work with this guy.
Yeah. And the star is... She's incredibly charismatic. What's her name? Lizzie McGuire lady. Who played Lizzie McGuire?
Hilary Duff.
Hilary Duff. She's the...
I almost said Lizzie McGuire.
Who plays Lizzie McGuire? Lizzie McGuire. Right.
In my head, I was like, yeah, like the cartoon one's played by Lizzie McGuire. Like,
Yes.
it's her imagination.
Lizzie McGuire, famously played by Lizzie McGuire.
Yeah. She does great. She is super charismatic, super fun to watch. I think that the stories and the relationships in there work really well, actually.
Yeah.
And there's a couple of those like gut punch moments that How I Met Your Mother tends to go for occasionally. I think it works with comedy sometimes really well because you don't expect it.
Yeah, where drama just comes out of left field.
Yeah. How I Met Your Mother did that a lot. How I Met Your Father has replicated a couple of those things. I think it has laid the foundation for something that can be actually better than its original product.
Okay.
I think it has a chance to actually like say something with it in a way about relationships and race and things like that. Then I think maybe How I Met Your Mother, being full of just a bunch of white people, didn't really have the opportunity to do.
I mean, they also did try, because there was like sometimes whenever he was dating someone of a different race, whether she was black or Hispanic or whatever else.
Those didn't last long though.
No,
those were definitely not the concentration.
I was gonna say she was never the mother, so.
Yeah. But yeah, it did actually so well, because it's a Hulu show, by the way, that they picked it up for I believe it is a
27 seasons.
I think it's an 18 episode second season.
Okay. That's quite a second season if it's 18 episodes.
Yeah, and now that I'm recalling, I think the first season was only 8 episodes.
Okay.
So they gave it 10 more episodes, and they're giving it a bigger budget. It had, if I'm not mistaken, when I read the article, I think it had the highest ratings on premiere day. Like it came out that day, people watched it that day.
Okay.
Which is a bit rare for like a streaming thing, actually.
Right.
Is it?
Yeah,
for streaming, yeah, because it's one. I think one of the downsides of streaming is like, oh, I don't have to like be there to watch it for premiere because it's always gonna be there.
Yeah.
Maybe I just have like anime fandom on the brain where like the thing is like, it's out, go go go. I don't even care if the subs aren't ready. Go go go. I'll make it up.
But yeah, like that's definitely a big deal for the streaming thing for like shows and stuff, especially one that is released weekly. The same audience continues to show up for it. King Oryx just has anime and a dancing cat. So
gotta love that anime. At least me and E do.
No, there is a person actually in that. That's not just a cat.
That's not just a cat? Oh man, from all the way over here, that looks like it's just a cat. Oh nope, that is anime.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Sam is also saying, I just watched a video about Hilary Duff last night. She dated a 25-year-old when she was 16.
The good Charlotte guy.
Yeah, that sucks for her. And also explains how she didn't want to be part of the industry for a long time.
Yeah. I mean, the industry's shitty like that, though, too. Is like they always have a tendency to, like,
manipulate younger people and use and abuse them.
Yeah, I was gonna say, especially women, though, too.
Yes,
like,
especially women.
Yeah, like they'll get them while they're young and impressionable. And, yeah. in the industry, like, hey, you want to be a star, right? And even though it's kind of like a cliche joke, it's because it fucking happens all the time.
Yeah.
Which is shitty.
Yeah, Sam is saying it's creepy and Hollywood sucks. 100%.
Yep.
That sounds incredibly creepy. It's licorice pizza level creepy. Which I watched that. I watched all of the Oscar movies except for two at this point, because one I'm just not going to watch. But Licorice Pizza, Sam was here, watched that. I'm not going to talk about that here because I'm going to be talking about that at length tomorrow on our Oscar stream. Whoa. Check back in there. We're going to watch all of it. No, we're not going to show it to you.
We're going to watch all the movies right there.
Yeah. No, we're going to be watching the Oscars live, and you can also watch it live, and then we can pretend like we're hanging out. And we can all pretend like we have friends. So,
that'll be something.
E will be producing that, so he'll be here, and he hasn't watched any of them.
No. I have watched some of the animation category.
He'll be into 12 minutes of the entire 4-hour show.
I will give a passionate speech about one of the animated movies that is in the lineup, and that is it. That is all I will.
E is a quiet boy.
All right, let me mess with the audio sounds.
I would bet that's because you are turned down, on the actual board. Maybe not. I don't know. That also could be accounting for some of the echo. I'm not sure about that either.
It'll just be how it is, and then we'll fix it later.
Yeah, gonna fix it later.
There's not a whole lot right now we can do.
No, there is not. Yeah, How I Met Your Father, very, very good. It ends on, I wouldn't say a cliffhanger, but it ends on a point of interest that I want to see where it's going.
It almost sounds like they're giving it the Castlevania treatment. Because the Castlevania show on Netflix, they weren't sure whether it was going to be
have
good
to
or
find
not.
your father, who's actually a vampire, and then murder him using holy water, and then he has the second phase where he's a big vampire.
Right. No, that was a subplot, but I thought it'd be weird to bring it up.
Yeah.
But also, whenever Netflix picked up Castlevania, they had a 4-episode arc for the first season because they just were not sure whether it'd pick up or whether fans would like it or not, and then it blew up with those first 4 episodes, and now they had 3 seasons of it.
Yeah, they were not sure whether or not How I Met Your Father was going to pick up or not.
Right.
I mean, it kind of had a recipe for a disaster, a weird spin-off with mostly female cast. All female cast? Mostly female cast? I don't know.
Half and half.
Half and half. And
I mean, to be fair,
even How I Met Your Mother isn't seen as, amazing nowadays, I would say. It's,
no, it's
kind
not.
of... I think it's... A lot of people has kind of lost its... zeitgeist kind of feel.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of the love for How I Met Your Mother happened to do with how insanely charismatic the Barney character was, and then it fell off when it also became that he was extremely problematic, to a point to where at the time it was oh, it's charming, he sucks and is a womanizer, but now it's oh, he's just the textbook example of a womanizer. So yeah, some of that stuff just doesn't hold up at all. Yeah.
It happens.
Yeah. I mean,
shows and movies, there's parts of it that are going to age poorly for one reason or another.
Yeah. And I don't know if... I mean, I don't think I can have a unbiased opinion on that show because I do like it still. And so I'm well, that's that character, and I can't do anything about it.
It's impossible to do anything.
At this point, the show is over. You can't really do anything about that character. They tried to fix him over the years, and that's maybe my biggest problem with the ending, although I ultimately do like the ending of the show, what they went with for the official ending. The ending of it, because the last 3 seasons do a lot of work to make Barney not a womanizer, and then literally the last episode was he's a huge womanizer again, everybody. He's back. He's the awful person again. And oh, well, fucking great. Good job, everybody.
Barney is Neil Patrick Harris's character?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, it still is just funny to me that he's the one that's always casted as the womanizer.
Yeah, actually, a little bit.
The reason why he's always casted as a womanizer is actually because of Harold and Kumar.
Yeah, it is. But also, he's he is gay, so for a lot of people that made it well, he's gay though, he can't actually be a womanizer. But then it doesn't really help the situation. So
no,
yeah.
I mean, he's not gay in the show. That's not how it works.
No, yeah.
I mean,
or
I haven't seen the movie, so I can't really judge it. But I remember there was a movie that Michelle Rodriguez was in that got a lot of flack for playing in, where like she was a man, and then like they forced her to transition into a woman.
Yeah, I remember. I don't really even remember the name of the movie, but I remember the controversy because they were like, you could have actually just gotten a trans person and had actual trans representation.
Yeah, but then like they're also saying like it's representing saying that like being trans is wrong, and like they're giving her flack about it, and she just tried brushing it off by saying like, hey, I'm gay, so I'm part of the LGBTQ, so like you don't have to give me flack about it.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't.
No. But yeah, that's those are the big things I can think of that I watch besides all the Oscar things. Got anything, Robbie?
Not much. Like I told you guys off air that I got like a weird hankering to get back into the Riddick series, and so I watched Pitch Black.
I have
recently.
literally only seen the second Riddick.
And you liked it though.
I liked it. I think I actually wouldn't like the other ones after seeing only Riddick 2.
So you've only seen the Chronicles of Riddick then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know it was part of a series.
I haven't seen the third one because like the first one is Pitch Black. Then they have like a little like you would probably like it because they have a little animated spin-off of like what happens after Pitch Black. And then they have Chronicles of Riddick, and then they have like just the Riddick movie, which was the latest of the series, which I think might be the last one because like even though it's a beloved series, Chronicles of Riddick and Riddick both flopped in the box office.
No, Robbie. They're working on another one.
Oh, they are?
Oh, yes, sir. They are working on another one. That is one of those series that shouldn't have been a series. Like
it worked just as Pitch Black, and it worked very well as just Pitch Black.
Yeah, and the thing is though, every single one of those movies have made back just enough money
for them
to make another one.
I think it's probably just someone's passion project.
It's Vin Diesel's passion project.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because the latest Riddick movie, he put a mortgage on his house to make that movie.
Why does Vin Diesel have to put a mortgage on his house? Where's his money?
Because he wanted to make it. Like, he wanted to make it. He couldn't get funding, so he said, fine, I'll fund it. And then he put a mortgage on his house.
How much is his house worth? $100 million?
Maybe.
No. Maybe.
Let me look at the budget. Like, I'm going to look up the budget for the latest Riddick movie.
That's how much his house is
and then we're going to assume that's how much his house is worth.
I mean, obviously, like, he lived in it, so it probably increases the property value.
And yeah, there's a good chance of that, too.
There were probably other producer investors.
Yeah,
he was probably a partial investor in the film.
But
like, yeah, so it was Pitch Black, Chronicles of Riddick, 2 Chronicles of Riddick games. One Escape from Butcher Bay, and the other one was
Dark Athena.
Dark Athena, sure.
Yeah, Sam was asking, wasn't there a game that
there's
wasn't
2
actually
games.
Sick?
There was a French animated one. I believe it's French. I think it's the same people who did Aeon Flux.
I think so, yeah.
I don't know if it was French, but
I just put that art style too far.
If he doesn't like the art style, he says it's French.
I actually saw bits of that. I was like, dang, I kind of want to watch this. But then I think I was talking to you.
I technically have it now.
I think I was talking to you, Jiraiya.
Yeah.
And you were like, you probably should watch the rest of Riddick first.
Because you have to watch Pitch Black to really know what's going on.
That's the thing. I don't know if I would like Pitch Black much from just descriptions of it.
From where I am in life right now, I don't think I would like Pitch Black right now.
From where I am in life and watching Pitch Black recently, I will say this. It's okay.
Okay, well, there you go. So, Robbie, you haven't seen the newest one in the series, Riddick.
No.
What if Pitch Black?
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured.
That's it. That's literally just that again.
Yeah. So from what I've heard, that's what it is. It's like they're basically going back to their roots with like Pitch Black and making another Pitch Black.
The series is just ridiculous. You're welcome, Sam.
But yeah, I guess the budget for the 2013's Riddick was $38 million. So we can just assume that his house is worth $38 million.
Low. Right?
I mean, the first Pitch Black was kind of like a shoestring budget movie to begin with.
I guess, like,
kind of all work.
I feel like
Chronicles.
Chronicles had a big budget.
Yeah, maybe that's just, again, the fact I've only watched Chronicles of Riddick, like, tainting my idea of what Riddick is.
Yeah,
because I was like, dang, that's like a very CG-heavy movie. It's almost animated to a point.
The others are also CG-heavy. They're just bad CG.
Yeah, well, the first Chronicles of Riddick actually came out in the year 2000, and, like, it had a budget of $23 million, weirdly enough. But yeah, like that one is very much like it's a horror movie at its roots.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Pitch Black horror movie. One of the games I would say a horror game at its roots in a way, and Riddick is stuck between trying to be a sequel to Pitch Black and a sequel to Chronicles of Riddick. It's trying to do both, and it kind of doesn't work with either, in my opinion. But it's totally fine. So it's a movie. So
I just kind of want to rewatch Chronicles.
it's just amazing. Like that's the one you.
I mean, we could
Out
have a
of
night of
all
like
of-
watching all of it.
I don't think that's the most ridiculous thing I've only seen the second movie of.
Well, John Wick.
Yeah, now I've seen the original John Wick, but yeah, for a long time I only saw John Wick 2. Chronicles of Riddick, for sure. Marvel, like, I jumped all over the place. Like, I think I saw 2 of the Avengers, and then watched Avengers.
I mean, that's kind of fine, honestly, for that one.
Yeah.
I think it's like watching 2 Marvel movies and then watching Endgame would be weird.
I watched like 5, and then watched Endgame.
Still weird.
Yeah, that's what you told me, and you like gave me a YouTube video that like caught me up to speed, and then spoiled a big part of Endgame.
So yeah,
It's fine.
so according to this, Pitch Black had a budget of $23 million. That one did well in the box office. So they made Chronicles of Riddick, which had a budget of $110 million, and apparently only made back like $58 million in the box office, so it flopped. But he really wanted to make a sequel to it, considering that Chronicles of Riddick like ends on a cliffhanger, and he really wanted to go forward with the character.
They did.
I didn't remember. I guess I wouldn't know because, again, I just thought it was a completely separate movie.
Yeah, and then Riddick, the one that I haven't seen yet, that one was $38 million.
How much did it make?
I have no idea.
$5.
Let's learn. Let's all find out together. I bet it was at least 40 million.
Sam, quit making the same pun in chat.
She's drunk.
I'm gonna ridicule you.
Ooh! I'm trying to think of one now.
The most that's showing, I just saw a thing saying it made $58 million in the box office, but I guess worldwide it made 115, so it broke even, which basically means it flopped. But it's one of those Vin Diesel
it was
refused to let
38
it die.
million?
No, for Chronicles of Riddick.
Oh, okay.
Because I'm
Yeah.
trying to find out how much the newest one made, but
It's
it made profit. Box office was $98 million.
There
So
you go.
he barely made profit on it.
Wow, they
make
finally
possibly
made a
another one.
profit, and they weren't gonna give Vin Diesel another one. What the heck?
Well, that's what it was. Is Pitch Black did well, Chronicles Riddick not so much, but then Riddick did well. But also, it's one of those things like the first game did really well. Like everyone agrees, like the best Riddick movie is the first game,
Yeah.
and then Dark Athena they say is at best, which I haven't played Dark Athena yet, so I couldn't tell you. But like, I actually have those on GOG because it was on sale. But like,
Nice.
it's one of those things because like it was just Dark Athena, but Dark Athena came bundled with the original game,
Yeah.
so I have both of them.
Sam was saying she watched all of the Marvel movies in the order that they should be watched story-wise before Endgame, and then nothing after.
Yeah. That's most people, actually, I would say.
Yeah. I feel like there was probably a big drop off after Endgame.
From like basically everybody that I've talked to, there's been a huge drop off from all that stuff.
I mean, I only watched the new Spider-Man, and Spider-Man's probably one of my favorite Marvels, so...
Yeah.
I feel like Spider-Man is just more or less a fan favorite too.
Blue Hedgehog in chat is saying, Riddick, more like rid a dick. Am I right? There is a prison scene. Actually, there's a lot of prison scenes. Actually, it's mostly prison.
Yeah,
So
there's a lot of prison in that.
yeah, maybe. What were we talking about?
yeah.
I mean, one thing that actually happens in Pitch Black, which I didn't know until I watched it recently, he actually says his full name. Riddick is his last name.
Is it George Riddick?
John Riddick.
It's Richard B. Riddick.
Richard B. Riddick?
That's his
So,
full name.
Dick B. Riddick.
Yeah, that is his full name.
Dick B. Riddick.
His
That
Dick
is-
B. Riddick.
Dick B. Riddick. That's what all the girls say.
Sam says someone did something, or somebody did something with that dick.
You've heard about bringing all the milkshake, bringing all the boys to the yard. Where he's in prison. So
Yeah, the
same
yard.
concept.
The Dick B. Riddick in the yard with the boys and something.
So Blue Hedgehog hosted us. Oh, thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
thank you so much. Appreciate you.
We don't have any alerts or anything. But
Yeah.
we appreciate
This is
it.
all very much still like a work in progress. We're all still learning the whole Twitch thing.
I'm trying to learn to animate right now, and it's just the worst. I hate it so much. It's dumb, and it takes time, and I'm so impatient.
I animate a lot, actually, and I agree. It's dumb, and it takes time, and I'm very impatient.
Imagine back in the days whenever I had to do it like just from pieces of paper to pieces of paper.
I did for a bit.
Yeah. I think that's kind of how you have to get started, really.
Kinda, yeah.
Because if you start with the best technology, I think you're probably not going to go much farther than that. I mean, maybe you will, but it's just one of those things of like, if you get like a kid a $50,000 camera, like you can't just expect him to make films.
Yeah. I mean, well, I guess that also makes sense. Like whenever I went to school for machining, they had us using like old broken down equipment and their whole justification of it is like, listen, I know this equipment sucks, but if you can make good parts on bad equipment, you can work anywhere.
You can make bad parts on good equipment.
Plus, we don't trust you.
Part of it was that too. They didn't want to spend a whole lot of money for someone who's going to break a machine. Like I told you guys earlier today, like I spent pretty much 2 out of the 4 days that I worked this week. I basically spent that time trying to fix a machine, only for someone to break it the first day it's fixed.
Yeah, good.
So yeah.
Anyway, you watch anything you want to talk about?
I forget. I did this a while back, but I don't remember if I said anything. I beat Anodyne, which I believe Roppy has played before.
I don't even know what
I don't know.
is.
It's inspired by the Game Boy Zelda games. It sets the tone.
I would be into it.
It sets a tone very quickly when you get a weapon and it's a broom, and like the big person like chastises you. Is like, oh my god, the fucking hero got a broom. What is this?
Huh?
And like, you kind of go around Zelda type stuff with like an urban aesthetic, but like a bastardization of it, kind of. And it was like early 2000s, like before that was a very common thing to do.
Yeah.
Its best thing is it has really cool secrets.
Okay.
Like, you can like go weird places and like find a bunch of crazy things, and once you beat the game, it just gives you the ability to swap any 2 tiles. Two tiles. So if you're in a room with a wall, you can just move the wall out of the way and then walk through where the wall was.
Nice.
That is
and like
pretty cool.
There's crazy secrets outside of bounds.
Okay.
And like, it's just really interesting in a lot of ways. And it's like kind of narrative focused in like, oh wait, I forgot to change the topic, but it's like narrative focused in interesting ways. Like, it seems to be a metaphor for like social anxiety and stuff. Like, the hero seems to just kind of be a young adult who's trying to figure out anything.
Okay.
Anodyne, which it will be there for like 10 seconds until Dry talks about another thing, but you know. I quite like it. There's a sequel out that I'll probably get eventually. I think the sequel's like PlayStation kind of era inspiration.
Like a weird 32-bit 3D kind of thing, or 64?
Yeah, 64-bit, yeah. But like, yeah, like it looks, I think it's like an early PlayStation game with similar like crazy stuff.
Huh.
Okay.
If like you remember any time I talked about just in passing, I told you there's a secret where you have to wait 4 real life hours for a rabbit to cross a screen.
Why? It's just I mean, it's fun.
It's for a secret. Like, it's not like you
Yeah.
need to do it to beat the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like really interesting. I really enjoyed it. Did really make me want to play the sequel. I got it for free because of the itch bundle.
Right.
Okay.
But yeah, other than that, just like I've been like really trying to like go through that itch bundle and like organize stuff into like beat games, multiplayer games I will never finish. Because there's just a lot of like mobile puzzle games that are like fun, but like I'm not gonna beat an entire mobile puzzle game.
Right. Yeah. It's not even worth your time.
Yeah. But yeah. So that was that. I tried Skatebird, and that is a perfectly okay video game.
That's what I've heard about it.
Like, it really just feels like the demo of a video game. It's like not bad or anything. Like, if you were interested in it, you'd probably like it. But like, I'm like, yeah, this is what I think of with the skateboarding game.
Yeah. Yeah. You mentioning the top-down Zelda-like thing did bring me to the thing that I've been playing that I just forget that I've been playing. That's the one, Tunic. How'd you know? It is fantastic.
I really want to play it.
I am enjoying it so much. It has the best parts of a Zelda game, and the best parts of a Dark Souls game, and the best parts of Fez.
So not having
with better graphics in all
weird
three.
developer.
Without having a horrible man as a developer, yes. Actually, I don't really know any of the developers at all, so I could be
So
wrong.
maybe?
They could be awful. I
don't
know
think
about
it's Phil
them.
Fish.
It's not Phil Fish. You can be sure of that. Yeah, Tunic is super fun. There are so many secrets and weird little things in that game. It's very much The Witness. Like, the entire world feels like it's a puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know what the rules are to solve any of them. Still,
Nice.
I've beaten 2 bosses, and I know like with Fez, with The Witness, and I'm gonna say with this, like, there is the base game, and you play it, and you collect the things, and then you end it. But like, that's not actually the game. So
Mhm.
like, I've beaten 2 bosses, and I've explored a bunch of areas, but like, I know that's not the actual game. I know there's something else there, because there's just things that I find, I'm like, this is really weird and interesting, and I know something happens with this, but I don't know what. And so, like, there's, like, a million little things I'm like, this is something bigger. Like, I'm almost at the point of having a cork board with red string going everywhere. Like, I know there's a mystery.
So it feels like almost like you're walking across, like, something happened here, and, like, there's evidence of something happening here.
Not even that. Like, have you played Fez or The Witness?
No.
So, they are puzzle games at heart, but there are puzzles surrounding the puzzles that they don't tell you about.
Okay.
Like, it's not
Yeah.
mentioned in there. It's not like, hey, here's your next thing. Like, they just exist, and if you figure out that they are even a puzzle, then you've started to unravel a much larger mystery.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, you saying that really reminds me when I was playing Baba Is You. One of the craziest moments in that game, slight spoilers for Baba Is You.
You are Baba?
But, like, you know, that one's similar where you have to go through all the levels and stuff. There's one level where if you mess up, you're booted out of the level because there's a, you know, Baba Is You has all the names, so it's level is whatever. And, like, the intended solution is level is win. But there's the Baba Is You and all that. And if you change it so that level is Baba, you're booted out and you're back on, like, the level select, but there's a little Baba.
Huh.
And then you can actually move that around and solve puzzles in the overworld.
That's incredible.
Yeah,
Huh.
I love Baba Is You. I think Baba Is You is one of the best puzzle games.
I've
Period.
still not played it, and I so want to.
Yeah. Also, sorry, it was a while back, but Blue Hedgehog was saying when I was talking about Anodyne, it sounds more interesting than what I'm putting myself through on DBZ Kakarot.
I've seen that. Yeah.
It looks fun.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It looks like a DBZ fighting
I'm
game.
like 50. It's not a fighting game.
Oh, it's not?
No, that's the adventure game where you play through the storyline.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you still
I mean,
fight.
there's fighting, but it's like not
It's not
a
a fighting game.
Yeah.
Like, there's DBZ fighting games.
It's like an open world.
But, like,
Okay.
yeah.
It's
so kind of like the monk levels of Mortal Kombat where you run around as an adventurer and then fight every now and then?
No,
No.
like, it's not about... Like, it's just about going through the thing. It's not like a... I don't know. It's like... It would be like describing Ocarina of Time as a fighting game, I would say.
Okay.
yeah.
Okay,
Like
I
there's
get what you
fighting in it, but that's not really the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks neat. I bet if I tried it, I'm like 50-50 on if I like DBZ, because like I only watched the abridged series of DBZ formally. Like I've
Yeah.
seen DBZ episodes, but
yeah.
like I've only really watched abridged, and I like what they do there, but I don't know if I could sit down and watch DBZ.
Yeah. Yeah.
It'd be hard.
It's a lot, honestly. Liz just watching it is like, I don't know how she does it.
Nostalgia.
No, she genuinely likes it. She just likes it. I don't think it's
Mm.
nostalgia.
I mean, it's like it could be a little bit of both.
Yeah, maybe it's a bit of both.
Like people did just like Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah.
obviously,
Yeah.
or else it would have been a phenomenon.
Yeah.
But yeah, I probably could. I am more interested in just sitting down and watching just Dragon Ball one day. I
Yeah.
think that would be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's shorter anyways, but
Yeah. But yeah. Tunic, extremely good. I recommend it to anybody who likes puzzle games or like Zelda games.
or Dark Souls games.
Or
I
Dark
guess.
Souls games. And Sam is saying The Witness is so hard. The Witness is so hard.
I couldn't beat that game. It is crazy. It like boots you out in real life, and you have to puke in a trash can after playing for 30 minutes.
It happens to be a specific thing towards E, actually.
Yeah,
gets very motion sick with that game.
I did get super motion sick during that, which is a shame, because like I think I was probably close to figuring out what the deal of that game was, but I couldn't sit still.
Yeah, that game. There's literal sections of the island that, if you aren't musically inclined, you're just never gonna figure out what the puzzle is. It's great.
Just plays a brown note.
I mean,
yeah, don't spoil.
I'm not gonna spoil it because like that's the fun of that puzzle game, is figuring it out. But like, Sam is saying she couldn't beat it with the guide because the guide itself was like a puzzle. Yeah.
Was it like a non-spoiler guide where like you're trying to figure it out, and it's also like, oh yeah, if B piece is connected to the R piece, and like you have to look into the key to figure out what B and R was, and like
like the Donkey Kong guide, like giving you rhymes like, if I was a coconut, where would you find me nut?
You forgot you were.
I forgot I was rhyming. Yeah, I forgot where I was going with that.
You know that you forgot you were rhyming when you said "if I was a coconut," which is a very hard word to rhyme.
Yeah, I shouldn't have chosen coconut. Point being, the Donkey Kong 64 guide sucks ass.
I bet
it's awful.
I don't know if I would ever play DK64. Honestly, doesn't look.
You
fun.
shouldn't. But I think that's good for discussion for now.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, it's 11:30.
It is. Let's take a real quick break on our end. Let's say 5-10ish minutes. We'll say 5. I don't think we need too much to do right now.
No, I mostly just wanted to fix the echo, right?
Yeah, let's fix the echo and see how that's going to be working. Let's say we'll be back in 5 minutes, and E's going to be playing some Half-Life Source.
Yeehaw.
So we will be
right back.
RB. Finger guns. Pow.